Welcome back to today's session of compiler design, third class. Yesterday we have seen some of the topics that are recognition of tokens. Under recognition of tokens, there are 5 different ways: recognition of identifiers, recognition of delimiters, relational operator, keywords, and numbers. We have seen in yesterday class. Lexical analyzer also. So lexical analyzer is the first phase of compiler. It is also called as linear analysis or scanning. In this phase, the stream of character making up the source program is read from left to right and group into token that are sequence of characters having collective mean. If the source program entered in the lexical analyzer convert the sequence of statement character into tokens, and these tokens are entered into the parse or syntax string. So again this parse taking and asking to send another token, that is called as lexical analyzer. And in the same manner, the role of parser also same. After asking the lexical analyzer and parse, both are depends upon the symbol table along with the rest of the front end. All are depends upon the symbol table, and the symbol table contains all identifiers along with their types that are stored, so that the symbol table make it easier to compile, and to lexical analyzer to parser to quick search and identify records easily whatever you required. Upon receiving a get next token command from the parser, the lexical analyzer reads the input character until it can identify next token. A lexical analyzer may also perform certain secondary tasks as user identifier. One such task is stripping out from source program the commands and white spaces in the form of blanks and new lines, tabs, whatever it may be. Another is correlating error message from the compiler with the source code. And this is about the role of parser. Again, there are different types in parsers, as shown in the diagram. Mainly, the parser is divided into 2 types as shown in the diagram, that is top-down parser, and the next one is bottom-up parser. The bottom-up parser is also called as shift-reduce parser. Again, top-down parser is divided into 2 parts, that is backtracking and predicative parser. Bottom-up parser is again divided into 2 parts, that is operator precedencer. And next, LR parser is divided into 3 parts, that is SLR, LR and LAR. Let us see what is the main parsers. There are 2 types already I told you: TDP, that is top down parser, BUP, that is bottom up parser. So these are all different parsers. Now let us see top down parser. The parser of construction of parse tree starting from root and proceed to children is called TDP. Starting from start symbol of grammar and reaching the input string, that is called as top down parser. Suppose take an example. Orally I am telling one example that already you know what is S means starting. S tends to small a, capital B, E. S tends to small a, capital B, E. And again capital A tends to B, C. And capital B tends to D. And the input string is W tends to A, B, C, D, E. You have to draw the diagram or a parse tree for this input by using top-down parsing. You have to proceed from top to down. First, take S as root node. You already done these examples or these problems in the last semester itself in flat. formal languages and automata theory in context-free grammar. So take S as root node and again connect 4 levels to S root node, that is small a, capital B, small e. Again that capital A is connected to further two sides, that is B and C. Again capital B is having one link, that is D. Like that you have to draw the parse tree for top down parser. Don't worry, I clearly explain these all types of parser in tomorrow classes. Just I am now giving what are different types of parsers, and coming to the next one, that is CFG. CFG stands for context free grammar. It is a formal grammar which is used to generate all possible patterns of strings in a given FL. Here FL is formal language. CFG is the context free grammar. It is a formal grammar which is used to generate all possible patterns of strings. Context free grammar G can be defined by 4 tuples, that is G equal to VTPS. Context free grammar G is 4 tuples VTPS. In that capital G denotes the grammar which consisting of set of production rules. It is used to generate a string of language. And coming to the T, T is a finite set of terminal symbols. It is denoted by lowercase letters. V is the finite set of non-terminal symbols. It is denoted by capital letter. V is denoted by capital letters. And T is denoted by lowercase letters, that is terminals. Lowercase letters are terminals, capital letters are non-terminals. P is the set of production rules, such is used for replacing non-terminal symbols on left side of the production in a string with other terminal or non-terminal symbols on the right hand of the side of the productions. As coming to S, S is the start symbol, you all know that. And in the context free grammar we have to follow the some rules. Left side non-terminals, right side we are having epsilon with terminals and non-terminal combinations. That means in the right side we have 3 combinations, that is epsilon, that is null value, terminals and non-terminals also is there. Whenever a variable that is non-terminal is replaced with the entire string, placed on right hand side. Now in the screen you are seeing one small example for your understanding purpose. Once again I am repeating here. Example, the input string is AABBB. You all know these problems, I think you have already done with the problems in the last semester itself. I am just giving briefing. If you have any doubts, call me. Now I am proceeding. S tends to A, SA. S tends to B, SB. S tends to A. S tends to B. Here S is the starting symbol, you know all. And I am proceeding with one, that is S tends to A, SA. I have to substitute that S with AS, A, because here S tends to ASA is there. That's why I substituted here AA, SAA, and the input string is AABBB. Last you have to give result BBB, but here AA is coming, so I think this is not possible to get correct input. Correct result you can't get, so better to proceed with another one. Take another string, that is ABA, substitute S with ASA, in between S replace B, you will get result, that is ABA. Based on your string we are replacing non-terminal values. with the production on the right hand side. This is called as CFG. Once again I am repeating, CFG is context free grammar. We have to follow some rules in this. From the left side we are having non-terminals, in the right hand we have terminals, non-terminals and epsilon combinations. Whenever a variable that is non-terminal, that is replaced with the entire string placed on the right hand side, proceed until you will get the input string value in the result. And the next one is derivations. You all know there are two types of derivations. One is LMD and another one is RMD. LMD is leftmost derivation, RMD is rightmost derivation. Coming to the leftmost derivation, scanning starts from left to right, and coming to the rightmost derivation, scanning starts from right to left. The name itself starting left and right. You proceed, if you left LMD, you proceed with left. If it is RMD, you proceed with right side to left. Take an example as shown in the screen. LMD, leftmost derivation. The input string is id plus id into id, and the problem is e tends to e plus e tends to e into e tends to id. You know how to solve the problem. First take e tends to e plus e plus e. First e you replace with id, because here e value is id also there, e into e also there. You have to substitute those two values. First e place with id and write same as it is the remaining, that is plus e. And in the second line, id plus e into e, I replaced right e with e into e. id plus id into e, last e replaced with id. Now the result input string is we have gotten as in the form of result, that is id plus id into id. This type of derivation is called leftmost derivation. You have observed that whenever I am proceeding to solve the problem, I prefer to solve left to right because it is LMD, leftmost derivation. This is called LMD, leftmost derivation. Coming to the rightmost derivation, the name itself right to left. So I proceeded with here, e tends to e into e. Again you can substitute e with e plus e and e id. So first of all e into e, first e is, last e is substituted with id, because it is rightmost derivation I have to proceed right to left. Last e is substituted with id. And coming to the next, that is e star, left side e I replaced with e plus e into id. And next from right to left, id into e is replaced with id. Finally from left side, first e is substituted with id, we got the input string result. This is called rightmost derivation. I think you all observed that I replaced all values from right to left only in the RMD, and in LMD I replaced all values from left to right. And coming to the parse tree, as I have done the problem, as I have solved the problem, in the same manner I have to draw the parse tree or sparse tree. First I proceeded with the root node as e. You are seeing in the screen e. E has further three extensions, that is e plus e, and next left e is replaced with id, and right side e is replaced with three levels, that is e into e. Left side subtree e is id, and next e is replaced with id. Now the result is id plus id into id. This tree is called as leftmost derivation parse tree, and in the same manner rightmost derivation. How you done the problem in the solvation step, how you substituted all values in the problem while solving. At the same manner you have to draw the parse tree also. And next one is ambiguous grammar. Ambiguous grammar. If the grammar contains more than one parse tree for the given string is called ambiguous grammar. If the grammar contains more than one parse tree for the given string is called grammar, ambiguous grammar. Coming back to the yesterday's class, once again I am repeating. For further proceeding I have to repeat once again. Orally I repeat, not in deeply. First of all, you know all what is compiler. A compiler is a software which converts a program written in high level language to low level language, that is called as a compiler. And next one is language processing system. Let us take a source code high level language converted into preprocessor, and this preprocessor is connected to compiler, and next phase connected to assembler. These all are connected each, that is called as language processing system. And you all know the structure of compiler. In the structure of compiler you have 6 phases. First one is lexical analyzer, second one is syntax analyzer, third one is semantic analyzer, fourth one is intermediate code generator, and next one is code optimizer, final one is code generator. These 6 phases are called as structure of compiler. Before this 6 phase started, it having high level language, that is source program. By the end of these 6 phase levels, you may get targeted program, that is low level language. These 6 phases are connected to another 2 levels, that is symbol table manager and error handling. You all know what is symbol table manager will done. The symbol table maintains throughout all pages and stores here. The symbol table data structure maintains in this throughout all pages in storage here. That helps quickly search the identifier records and retrieves. Error handler used to handle the errors. And coming to the lexical analyzer, reads the stream of characters and making up the source program and group the character into meaningful sequences called lexemes. Lexical analyzer represents these lexemes in the form of tokens. Finally we get in lexical analyzer as the result of tokens. And coming to the next phase, that is syntax analysis, is also called as parsing. It takes token produced by lexical as input and generates a page tree or syntax tree. Semantic analyzer, it checks whether the parse tree is constructed follows the rules of language, that is checked by the semantic analyzer. And next one is intermediate code generation. It is the representation of final machine language code. It is produced this phase. Bridges the analyze and synthesis phases of translation. In this entire structure of compiler, we are having 6 levels. First three phases are called as language dependent. Last 3 phases are called as machine dependent. And coming to the next phase, that is code optimizer, the input runs faster and takes less space. It removes unnecessary code lines and arranges sequence of statements in order so that speed up the program without wasting CPU resources. That is called as a code optimizer. And coming to the next one, that is last one, translate the intermediate code into sequence of relocatable machine codes, that is called as code generation. Translates the intermediate code into sequence of relocatable machine codes is called as code generation. And next one is lexical analyzer. A lexical analyzer is first phase of compiler, also called as linear analysis or scanning. In this phase, the stream of character making up the source program is read from left to right and grouped into tokens that are sequence of characters having collective means. If the source program entered into the lexical analyzer, the lexical analyzer converts the sequence of statement character into tokens, and those tokens are entered into parse tree or syntax tree, and the process will continue. And the next one is recognition of tokens. Tokens are recognized with the transmission diagrams, and there are 5 types of recognitions: recognition of identifier, recognition of delimiter, recognition of relational operator, recognition of keywords, recognition of numbers. These are the 5 recognitions of tokens. And next, specifications of tokens. Regular expression is used to specify the tokens. You all know what is regular expression. It is a name given to the regular expression, and we can use that name in regular expressions. And next, coming to the next one, that is classification of TDP, that is top down approach. The process of construction of parse tree starting from root and proceeding to the children is called TDP, that is top down process, top down parser. And this top down parser is 2 types: with backtracking, without backtracking. Again, with backtracking, example brute force technique. Without backtracking, example is predictive parser. Again, this predictive parser is divided to 2 parts, that is LL1, recursive descent parser, LL1 and recursive descent parser. If you have seen all this, the classification of TDP having recursive descent parser. The parser is constructed from top down, and input is read from left to right. The input is recursively parsed from preparing a parse tree with or without backtracking. That is called recursive descent parser. Once again I am repeating. I clearly explained tomorrow class different types of parsers. Now I am once again repeating. Recursive descent parser. The parser is constructed from top down, and input is read from left to right. The input is recursively parsed from preparing a parse tree with or without backtracking. Next, coming to the what is backtracking. So you all know in data structures, backtracking you have already done. In the usage of sorting techniques, you have already done with the examples. You have seen backtracking. How will you move to back to get a particular result successfully? You have already seen. In the same way, the backtracking, the parse tree is started from root node, and input string is matched against the production rules for replacing them. The parse tree is started from root node, and input string is matched against the production rules for replacing them. That is called as backtracking. And I have given some problems to solve in yesterday class, but no one is submitted up to now. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to solve that problem. In yesterday class I have told I have drawn transition diagrams. For the transition diagrams, I said to write the expression, but no one is submitted up to now. If you don't have any basic knowledge, you can't proceed further in subject, because the compiler design basics is totally depend upon previous semester formal language and automata theory subject. That's why I am repeating again and again. Go thorough with the last semester flat subject basics. At least basics you have to see once, so that you can proceed in this semester this subject compiler design. Without basic knowledge you can solve the problems now. In top-down parser, the process of construction of parse tree starting from root and proceeding to the children, that is called as top-down parser. You have already seen example. Once again I am orally telling the example, small example, that's why I am not mentioning here on the screen. Small example, you all know in the previous semester itself, that's why I am orally telling. Small example, don't worry. Tomorrow onwards I clearly explain types of parsers along with problem solvation, that means along with example. Every parser has their own type of problems, I will explain. Just I am briefly orally giving one example, small example. That is, S means is, you all know S is starting symbol. S tends to A, small a, capital A, B, E, and capital A is replaced with BC, and B tends to D, and the input string is W tends to A, B, C, D, E. You have to draw a parse tree, a syntax tree for this string, that is S tends to A, small a, capital B, E. So first take capital S as root node, and that capital S root node having 4 connections. For one connection write small a, another connection write capital A, another extension write capital B, last extension mention E, and proceed with the capital A. Again capital A having 2 connections. You write one connection with B, small b, another connection C, and coming back to the capital B, the before level, and connect D. Now the result is A, B, C, D, E, and the input string also same A, B, C, D, E. We got the result. In after class also the problems are like this. From tomorrow onwards classes also having so many of problems. For that purpose I am once again requesting you all the students, please refer context free grammar, at least basics. You can proceed freely in problem solvation, otherwise I can't help you. If you have any doubts in basics also, feel free to contact me. And again I am giving you examples. Today class I have given one problem in ambiguous grammar. I am seeing here on the screen. E tends to E plus E, E tends to E minus E, E tends to 1, 2, 3 up to 9. Draw a parse tree and the input string is 9 minus 7 plus 2. Input string is 9 minus 7 plus 2. Solve the problem by using parse tree and prove that is ambiguous grammar. And prove that is ambiguous grammar. You all know what is ambiguous grammar. If the grammar contains more than one parse tree for the given string is called as ambiguous grammar. That means you take this example and draw one parse tree for expression E tends to E plus E, and draw another parse tree by taking expression E tends to E minus E. You will get 2 parse trees, 2 different results. That's why I am telling, if the grammar contains more than one parse tree for the given string is called as ambiguous grammar. I am giving input string as 9 minus 7 plus 2. You have to done that. If you take 2 different expressions and 2 diagrams, you will get different result. Prove that is ambiguous grammar. I hope all are understood. And here itself I am telling how to draw. First you proceed with E tends to E plus E. Take that expression first. E tends to E plus E. You write E as cap root node, and that E have 3 extensions because here E expression, in the expression E plus E is there. That's why E root node having 3 connections, E plus E, E plus E. After that, again left E contains 3 connections. The first connection E, next one minus, and next one E. And coming to the left side subtree, proceed with last E, 9. And that left side subtree having right also E, extend that to 7. Now you got the result 9 minus 7. And coming back to the root node having 3 connections. One connection is already filled. Leave plus symbol as it is and come back to the right side E and extend to 2. Now the result is 9 minus 7 plus 2. 9 minus 7 write in parenthesis. That means parenthesis open, 9 minus 7 parenthesis close plus 2. You get the result 4. I tried here but by mistakenly it is corrected, I think. Once again I submit these 2 results. Here you are seeing 9 minus 7 plus 2, you got 4. And in the same way you solve by taking second expression E tends to E minus E. E tends to E minus E. Take E as root node and E root node having 3 connections. First connection write E, next one minus, next one E. Coming back to the left side E, connect 9 and leave minus as it is and proceed with right side E. Again right side E having 3 connections, that is E plus E. Right side subtree E has extended to 7. Leave plus as it is and next right side E is connected to 2. Now the result is 9 minus 7 plus 2. Now 9 minus 1, after that parenthesis open, 7 plus 2. The result is 9 minus 7 plus 2. The result is 0. Here minus is missed. Don't worry, I submit these 2 diagrams once again personally to each and everyone in the group. You also try to solve. This is not your first class. Already you have done these examples in the last semester itself. You try once, and if you have any doubts, feel free to contact me. Once again I am requesting each and every student, please refer back to the old classes in automata theory, especially context free grammar, how to do pros tree, what is leftmost derivation, what is rightmost derivation, what is LL of 1, what is LR1. You all done in the last semester itself. Will you please repeat once again? Try to solve your own. That's all for today. Tomorrow I come with the top down approach different ways and bottom up approach in different ways, along with their neat explanation and problem solution. I tell you clearly. That's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow.